Awesome, we're good to go. This is a keeper. It's not great, but it's certainly not bad. We don't have the white mana for Restoration Gearsmith, but we have everything else that we need, and, I mean, we might be able to draw that in the meantime. We are on the draw. And we've got a lot of plays to make before we need to play the Restoration Gearsmith. Like, this is going to be like a turn 7 play or something. Even without the... Like, even if we had a planes in hand, we're not just, like, slamming this on turn 4. This is a later play than that, for sure. Glitness Crane, and they hit Tynavolt Tower. Ooh. So apparently our opponent's got a spicy brew. If you hear any weird moving around, my cat has stolen my chair, so I'm actually like kneeling on the floor in front. I'm a bit of a wimp. I gotta let my cat have free reign of the house. I'm terrible. Alright, the tower comes down. That is really scary. Tower is a terrifying card. Renegade Freighter is not bad, though. They can use Dynavolt to shoot it. They just need enough energy. See how quickly they can get to that. I imagine if they're playing it, pretty quick. They might have like a Glimmer of Genius here. That's what I'm guessing. If they're not playing anything for 4, my guess is Glimmer of Genius. Alright. Go with the Pima Outrider, make a +1/+1 counter. A lot of our deck relies on that. And see what our opponent does. I'm 100% certain that it's Glimmer of Genius at this point. It's either Glimmer of Genius or nothing. Oh, alright. It was nothing. I'm much happier with nothing than Glimmer of Genius, because that's a problem. Alright, High Tide Hermit's fine. I can deal with that. We'll just keep sending in the Freighter. I can Restoration Gearsmith it back later. I might even send in the Outrider, too. So, I mean, I could, like, Lawless Broker and Eager Construct, attack with this and the Outrider. I want to just deal a ton of damage as quickly as possible. I think that makes sense. And what do we have? Syndicate Trafficker. Ooh, that's a pretty good card to answer Dynavolt Tower. If they start picking off, like, Construct or Freighter, having up a Syndicate Trafficker to just pick up the counters is good. It makes it a little bit more awkward for them to try picking off our creatures. And we'll play the Lawless Broker. And smash for 9. They've got to trade with the Pima Outrider here. I'm sure that they're going to try and get enough energy that they can shoot the Freighter, so it makes sense to just trade with the Outrider. Or not. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty happy about that. That's a really good trade for us. It makes it harder for Dynavolt Tower to shoot things. And anything that makes it harder for them to get off Dynavolt Tower, like killing our creatures, is pretty good for me. That seems like a really weird choice. I guess that it's upgrading our, like, Lawless Broker, Eager Construct kind of cards. And they have the other High Tide Hermit. Makes a little bit more sense now. So if I attack with Pima Outrider, they block with Glintnest Crane and then just shoot it. I don't love that. I guess I can just Syndicate Trafficker and pass? Ugh. I hate passing and just leaving Dynavolt Tower sitting there. Because that card just is going to get worse and worse and worse. Giving our opponent a lot of time is going to let them build more energy and let Dynavolt Tower take over the game. Are they thinking about using it? I'd be pretty happy if they do. Because right now it's holding back our Outrider. Syndicate Trafficker. Okay. I'll let it kill the Eager Construct. They probably have a way to kill Syndicate Trafficker. I mean, I can't imagine they do this without having a way to get extra energy and shoot the Trafficker now, but that's fine with me. It definitely makes sense to do it that way. Yeah, there's Nature's Way. God, that's really gross. And now Dynavolt shoots the Syndicate Trafficker as well. Yep. And this is why we didn't want to let Dynavolt Towers stick around and the game go long. We needed to put pressure on our opponent. Malphus Squad. That's actually pretty decent here. Question is, do I give it a +1/+1? I kind of have to, I guess, to get it through High Tide Hermit or Glint Nest. The problem with doing that, of course, is that it makes Dynavolt Tower more relevant because they can just shoot the Malphus and I don't even have a 1/1. Getting an extra 1/1 on the side of that is kind of nice. Alright. Leaving both back. Oh, I'm going to be willing to trade for High Tide Hermit, I think. Makes it harder for them to block the Cow Prowler. And now Lawless Broker can get in as well. Aether Meltdown. Sure. At least that's being used there and not on, like, Cow Prowler. Because I think Cow Prowler is more important currently. No more energy. That's what we're looking for. No more ways for opponent to get energy. I'd also really like a Prophetic Prism and get this Restoration Gearsmith online. Forest. Forest is not what I want. Hope our opponent doesn't have a trick. Uh-oh. Well, that's a trick. What do they have? Ornamental Courage. Yeah, I could have played around Ornamental Courage by blocking the Glint Nest Crane first. But, I mean, I don't even know that it matters. Like, Glint Nest Crane's not the problem here. So, I'd rather order the High Tide Hermit first and hope that, like, they have something that kills it but trades. Oh, jeez. Fabrication Module. Not only does that get them energy for Dynavolt Tower, but then they also get the +1/+1 counters. There's no way we can get out of this. Now they just shoot the High Spire Artisan. I think this game's over. Yep, they make it a 2/4. Dynavolt Tower's back online. We drew the worst card that we could. I guess that's not entirely true. We could have gotten the actual Mountain. Mountain wouldn't be any better than Unlicensed Disintegration here. I'll go for one more turn, I guess. If we can get an Appetite for the Unnatural next turn, then maybe we have a chance. We might be able to eat the Module or the Tower. Opponent's deck is really cool. These are the fun kind of decks that you can get in Kaladesh. It's the style that we were going for, especially the Module. We really wanted Module. I'm sad that we didn't get a Fabrication Module. But that's just the way the Kaladesh draft goes, too, a little bit. With some of these decks, they rely pretty heavily on the uncommons. And that's why forcing them is not always the best idea. Things like Night Market Lookout and Red-White Aggro and stuff like that is a little bit more forcible. Oh my god. That's pretty much the perfect draw. Yeah, we're good. We're good. So how do we stop that? I don't think that anything that we have in the sideboard changes the game too much, because we already have the Appetite in the main deck. Harsh Scrutiny, maybe get rid of, like, a High Tide Hermit beforehand. They're not always going to have the... Oh, did we... Oh, Aether Hub fell out. Oh, that's what happened. Oh, I was wondering why our mana was slightly different. We should have Aether Hub in the deck. That's what's going on. It felt weird that we went to 8-7. Sorry. Yeah, okay. So when I submitted it again, when I had to rebuild the deck, Aether Hub was suddenly not in the deck, and I forgot about it. There's not a lot of lands in this format that you need to put in your deck, so I wasn't thinking about it at all. But yeah, we want the Aether Hub. Well, that definitely changes the Gearsmith. We might have even been able to draw it. That it would have Could have easily been one of the swamps that we put in. Well, that's too bad. Like, we might have actually had the Aether Hub on board during that game. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but that really sucks that we drew both of our double color cards, but we didn't have the Aether Hub because of that bug. Huh. Alright. Yeah, I'm just going to submit. Hope that they don't always have the Dynavolt Tower. Ooh, this hand's nice. I need more lands, but it seems pretty decent. Aetherborn Marauder is sick, sick, sick. Opponent didn't have that many flyers. We just saw the Glintnest Crane. So I imagine that the Aetherborn Marauder is pretty nasty against them. It generally is a pretty good card. I'll get Seed Sculptor online first and just start attacking with that. It's a little more likely to get in. Theorist, sure. Actually, I might as well attack. It makes sense to just get in. They should block, but just in case they don't. I've seen people value their like 1/3s more than they should and just decide not to block it. This card's really quite nice. I mean, getting the extra scry is pretty important, but... Ooh, Thriving Rhino is nice. Works very well with the Marauder. Pretty sure we just go Pima Outrider into Marauder, though, and not worry about the Thriving Rhino yet. Ugh, Fabrication Module. Yeah, that's pretty bad for us already. The card is such a house. It's fairly likely they have something that gets them energy next turn. This is a very sweet blue-green energy deck. Module is just so awesome. This card is an absolute bomb. I've been more and more impressed with it the more that I play the format. We still have a really good chance here, though. Even with the module online next turn, we get Aetherborn Marauder down. We've got a 4/4 flyer with lifelink. Like, that's tough to deal with. And they might not have energy here. Who am I kidding? Never mind. Let's just play the Marauder. I could attack the Pima Outrider. Offer to trade with the Rhino, but I don't love that. I'm just worried that they'll actually accept that or have a select for inspection. I don't know, something that throws off our plan of just smashing with Aetherborn Marauder here. I'm hoping they don't have like a select for inspection. Returning the Aetherborn Marauder would be a very, very bad thing for us. I guess that if I'm worried about a select for inspection, I should have attacked the Pima Outrider just because as bad as it is them bouncing Pima Outrider there, it's so much worse that they bounced the Marauder because then the counters are just gone. Comes back into play as a 2/2 flyer. That is the big issue with this card. It looks better than it is. I've been impressed with it. Like, the card's obviously good. It's still not bad. But it hasn't been the absolute, like, house that I thought it would be. Simply because of the fact that, like I said, things like bounce spells and all that get rid of all the counters, and you have to put you make all of your other creatures worse to get it online. Still solid, but it does make a bit of a difference. So Decoction Module plus Seed Sculptor is kind of cool. We can go off with that. We're gonna just attack here and play Module Rhino. If they don't have a flying blocker better than Peafowl soon, then we're in pretty good shape. Because I can get a land next turn and Decoction Module plus Seed Sculptor to make this large enough that it still gets through the Peafowl even if they just fabricate onto it. Which it looks like is the idea here, is that our opponent's going to play the Peafowl and then just try and pump it up so that they can block the Marauder. Put the card on top. Oh, no. No, 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 no. That is bad. That is a bad thing. We do get... Well, we can play it again. I have to get the prism down first, but we can get the restoration gearsmith and maybe get there. Wouldn't mind a land. Nope. Alright. Huh. It's gonna take some work, but it's possible for us to go restoration gearsmith, rebuy the marauder, and then start pumping it back up again with the seed sculptor decoction module. Problem is that's just so much slower than the fabrication module our own opponent has. And that's just probably going to mean that we lose this race to them. Let's see what they have here. They're a little bit choked on mana. They've probably been bottoming their lands, which is why. Oh, topped another card. Whoa! Sorry about that. Topped another card. I don't like that. Dynavolt Tower. That might have been what they topped. Their deck does seem to revolve around that card. Okay. Well, Restoration Gearsmith Decoction Module is a pretty sick combo. We'll just see who can out-combo the other. Right now, they're definitely winning on that front, but we might be able to get there. We certainly have the power to do it at this point. Seed Sculptor, Restoration Gearsmith, and like Marauder all work pretty well with the Decoction module. We can assemble some kind of offense here in a few turns. Sage of Shayla's Claim. Oh, Dynavolt Tower is back online. They might just use it to shoot the Restoration Gearsmith now so that I can't use the Decoction module to return it. I could see that being a pretty real thing here. Yeah, put it on the Peafowl so they can block the Marauder, because they know that's our plan. Like, our plan has to be going Marauder and trying to get at counters and smash through. Which is probably a losing strategy against Fabrication Module Peafowl. Need a way to kill this or kill this. Kill the Thriving Rhino. Okay. That's a little weird. I wouldn't think that they'd do that. Oh, they're gonna attack the Peafowl. That makes sense. We're not attacking with Marauder next turn anyways. Interesting. So couldn't Ballfist Squad get a +1/+1 counter and then Marauder afterwards? Alternately, Marauder now. Hold up the courage. Use Seed Sculptor the next turns. I think I'll get the Marauder now so they just can't attack with the Peafowl that easily. Just stops them from being aggressive. Because sure, I mean, Peafowl matches up much better against Marauder, but it also is... They're much lower on life, and they're basically trading 3 for 4, because this is a 4-point life swing, us gaining back 2 life. So there's no real reason for them to attack if they don't have a removal spell for the Marauder. And if they have removal, well, hopefully Ornamental Courage can save it. I'd love another land here. Having enough to bounce the Seed Sculptor, play the Seed Sculptor, and then hold up Ornamental Courage would be very nice. Thriving Rhino number 2. Our opponent's deck is just really strong. It's so awesome. This is a tough game to win. They're attacking with the Peafowl. Okay. So they have Ornamental Courage then, right? It's like they just have to. I can use the Decoction module to return the Aetherborn Marauder. You know what? This is actually a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. I was thinking that I can use the Decoction module to return it, but I shouldn't have bothered doing that. I should have first used the Seed Sculptor and replayed it. Because I could actually Ornamental Courage in response to their Ornamental Courage and save this, it would have had 6 toughness. This would only have 5 power. Okay, well, they didn't do it for whatever reason. Now the question is, do I bounce the Seed Sculptor and replay it? I think I do. Let's tap properly. I need to hold up Ornamental Courage. Almost tapped too much green. There's like a really obvious trick from our side because we left up all of our mana and then pumped our creature post-combat. They might think that we were just holding up the Decoction module to save it, which is also reasonable, but they've got to think that we have something else, or at least entertain the possibility. Nature's Way. Opponent has a lot of removal, a lot of synergy, a lot of, like, just a bunch of crazy cards. Alright, so they've got the Nature's Way. Does Ornamental Courage save it? I'm just trying to think about what they can do. They can pump it again and make it 5. And that actually gives it enough to use the Dynavolt Tower. So, yeah, they'll be able to kill it no matter what. I can make them use the counters on the Dynavolt Tower at least, so I guess that's what I do. If they see it, they can do this. Oh, the Fabrication module. Oh, they get energy off of... Right, they get energy off the Dynavolt Tower anyway, so it already still just kills it. That's a mistake on our part. And they're going to use it again, because why not? That was stupid. I should have just let it die. I mean, it's a bad situation no matter what, but I could have just let it die. Yeah. I totally wasn't thinking about the fact that they got energy off of the Nature's Way, which would have given them +1/+1 counter. Their deck is sick. Their deck is so good. I'd love to get an Appetite for the Unnatural or Unlicensed Disintegration. We just need to kill this stupid Peafowl. Driving Rhino attacks in. 4/5. As much as this sucks, because it means that we're losing our Restoration, and we can't Restoration Decoction module, I think that we have to block this with enough to kill it. It's just kind of a must-have at this point. We can't let this keep smashing into us right now. And they've got enough energy to make it a massive threat. Sure, I'm at 23 life now, but it's not going to last very long. Oh, they killed the Pima Outrider and not the Restoration. That's a big mistake when we have Decoction module. We can just keep playing that again. Oh, yeah, they're going to Dynavolt it. That makes sense. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, alright, so... I guess we can make a 1/1. Get a small amount of value off the Decoction module by returning the Maulfist and making servos. We need a removal, though. Both games we've really been looking for the Appetite or an Unlicensed Disintegration or something. It's been tough. Ugh, High Tide Hermit. It's almost enough energy to Dynavolt Tower again. They can actually just Fabrication module next turn and have enough. Putting a lot into this Peafowl. One removal spell and a lot of their board comes crashing down. Looks like we're not getting there, though. We can return and play the Eager Construct. Just to try and scry and find what we need. Since we seem to be having such a hard time getting there. And this does give a little bit pressure back. Okay. Put our opponent to 1. Do this now. Please, 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 please give me something good. That's not it. And what does our opponent do? Scry's on top. Ugh. Sick. Yep, that's a problem. Ornamental Courage to get more for the Dynavolt Tower, to put more counters onto the Dakara Peafowl. So now we're just straight dead. Now they're just showing off. If they play anything else, we're just dead in the air. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the opponent just wants to show how dead we are, which we are very dead. The High Tide Hermit's a pretty sick draw, too. Yep. Yeah, Peafowl alone's just lethal. Alright. That was a good try. Really needed to draw our removal spells. We could have had some more. We only had, like, the Unlicensed and the Appetite. We didn't really get a lot of removal. There was those Welding Sparks that I passed up on. We needed, like, a Hunt the Weak or a Nature's Way would have been really nice, but we never got any of those kinds of cards. So it was a decent try, but we are all out, unfortunately. Yeah, they're way on the bottom of our deck. We weren't getting to those anytime soon. Those are the key cards that we were constantly missing. We just needed more removal. Both of the games, we desperately were trying to find a way to kill either their artifacts or one of their creatures, and we just couldn't do it. So that was a big hole in our plan. I think that this deck is a little bit better than it looks, but again, it relies a lot on the uncommons. Like, if we had a Fabrication module and our opponent didn't, this deck is suddenly so much better. Like, and Decoction module and Fabrication module together are unreal. Like, Fabrication module already is pretty disgusting. You combine it with another module and it just gets ridiculous. But we tried our best. We did a decent job, I think. It shows that this deck, while very powerful, I think is a hard deck to actually force. So we've seen like decks like the Night Market Lookout deck and like red-white aggro, stuff like that you kind of have to force a little bit. I think that those ones are a little bit easier to force. You can play around a lot of... You use a lot of commons as your main cards. So a lot of your commons are your like main focus of your deck. You just want like cheap little 2-drops, or you want like a lot of Night Markets and other, you know, crappy common vehicles for the Night Market Lookout deck, like Sky Skiffs. A Renegade Freighter is obviously great. You're not going to get as many, but it's possible to grab them. They are common. This one, though, I mean, it relies so heavily on Fabrication module, on Durable Handicraft, on all those kinds of, like, uncommon cards, the Animation modules, the Aetherborn Marauder, the Fairgrounds Trumpeter, the Armorcraft Judge, that if you don't end up getting a few of those early on and being able to build your deck around it and have it open, I think that you're probably better off just, you know, trying to find a different direction that's actually available to you. Because as you saw here, like, our deck really ended up being pretty mediocre. Like, sure, we didn't draw the answers that we needed, but one of the main reasons why we didn't draw answers that we needed is because we didn't have the answers that we needed. Our opponent's deck was really, really strong. We're probably not going to come across a deck that's this powerful all the time. But this deck was just, you know, average. Wasn't bad, but it just could have been a lot better. Thanks for watching this week's version of Full Force, and remember, as always, to vote in our poll for what you want to see on next week's Full Force episode. You can find it on Twitter. My handle is @IlyonMTG, but an easier way is also to go to the article that's on newmontgaming.com, and I write a whole article about the archetype that we're forcing, why we're forcing it, some of the things that we learned about it, and I include the poll in there, so there's just a direct link to the poll, so you can find all that information on newmontgaming.com. And there's a ton of other great articles and stuff on there. All of the Full Force episodes are there. There's some wonderful content from some great people. Newmont himself, Frank Lepore, AJ. I do an article series with Boyko, MTG Radio, and Archie Owen, which is on EDH. So there's just a ton of great content. So always check out newmontgaming.com. And I will see you next week. Ooh, so we have another disappearing act to return things. We have a Propeller Pioneer that we could just constantly rebuy. But we also have the Aether Squall Ancient. And hey, if we're gonna bounce things, that is the ultimate way to bounce things, isn't it?